And when you complete your next exhalation, we'll extend our lotus mudra upwards and just allowing it for it to grow up towards the sky. And if you have to separate your hands, that's okay. But if you can, keep them together and just stretch your fingers up, growing into your flower, opening up through your chest and feeling an extension from the base of the spine all the way up towards the fingertips. Breathing still. And just when you think you can't stretch a little more, take another inhale and reach, reach, reach. And then as you exhale, slowly release your hands all the way down to your sides and let your chin tuck towards your chest. Good. And we're gonna do a little bit of a upper body flow. It's called, pulling t-shirt off. So you'll cross your right arm under your left, and this is gonna be a little bit of a flow. And then keeping that cross to the best of your ability, you'll start to inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and the fingertips will slide away from the deltoids. And then you'll stretch the arms up. And maybe you look up here. And then as you exhale, you'll reach your hands all the way out to the sides, and you'll repeat that. Right arm comes up underneath the left. Take your next inhale, slide the fingers up, stretch them up. Maybe look up, open and expansive. And then as you exhale, reach the hands all the way back behind you, out to the sides, down and up. Right arm up underneath the left. One more time on that side. Sweep the fingers up, stretch up, maybe look up. And then exhale to switch. So now as you come all the way out and down, you're going to take the left arm up underneath, fingertips towards the shoulder blades, slide the fingertips up towards the sky, reach them up, and then stretch them all the way back behind you. And you're just breathing however you can. If you can, time it just so, left arm up underneath the right, you'll inhale and slide up, and you'll exhale, reach it all the way back. And then you'll begin your inhale, left arm under right, slide up. And you're just taking your time with this. One more there, reach it all the way back. Good, this is so good for our working shoulders. Left arm under right, sweep the fingers all the way up. And then once more, exhale it out all the way down. And then let the fingertips release to the floor and the chin draws towards the chest. And then you'll either scooch right on over the knees, or maybe you skip to one side and come into a tabletop position on your mat. So when you come to tabletop, your wrists are below your shoulders and your knees are hip distance apart. Okay. Spreading fingers nice and wide here. You're tucking the toes on your inhale. You can arch the back, lift up through the heart and chest, draw the shoulder heads back. And then as you exhale, tops of the feet press, curl the tailbone up and in, hollow out through the armpits, gaze into your belly button, puff the upper back. And then when you're ready to breathe in, tuck the toes, let the belly lengthen, extend up through the chest, draw the shoulder heads back. And as you exhale, tops of the feet press, curl the tailbone up and in, gaze into your belly button. Good. And like this, moving with your own breath, take your time. Inhale. Your exhale into the cat shape, really curl it up and in, hollow out through the armpit. And you'll go ahead and take about 3 more. Breathing in and breathing out. If we're feeling a little anxious or jittery, or just our mood's a little low, one of the best tools that yoga can offer is breath with movement. So a lot of times when we're practicing, sometimes we might find we hold our breath. And that's okay, it happens. So every once in a while, I'll remind you, and you can remind yourself to keep the breath moving as you flow. Good. The next time you come on into a neutral spine, we'll ground the right hand. Take the left hand to the back of the head. It's a little bit of a core activation to do that. Elbow is bent. And then you'll inhale and open your heart and chest to the left. So it's okay if your left hip hikes up a little bit there. And then as you exhale, using your abdominals, draw your heart and chest back to neutral and draw your left elbow point to the floor. And then as you inhale, reach it up, open through your heart and chest, let the left collarbone stretch towards the sky. It's okay if your left hip hikes up a little bit there. And then as you exhale, draw the elbow point towards the floor. It's like a little bit of a side crunch, but mostly opening up through the chest and the upper back. Take an inhale, open up. Maybe start to lean into this a little bit now. So your head into your hand, elbow to the back of the room. And then as you exhale, curl it in. Good, just 2 more like that. Inhale, open through your heart and chest. Exhale, curl it in. Good. Really pressing into the right fingertip pads if you're feeling it in the wrist. Inhale, open. This time, as you open, let your left arm reach up and towards the sky. Yeah. And then as you exhale, thread the left arm behind the right. Release the left shoulder towards the floor and the left side of the head. Planted through the palm. Breathe in. And then breathe out, wring it out, twisting towards your right. You can stick with this, having the right palm grounded to the floor, supporting you in this wringing out. Or you can sweep your right arm perhaps up towards the sky, and then the top of the hand stretches back behind you. And then maybe you take the right hand to the left low back and wrap the fingertips around the top of the thigh. Draw the right shoulder head up and back behind you. And breathe. Good. When we twist, our breath tends to feel a little constricted. See if you can slow it down so you can get your breath to move in and out of the body. The inhales going into tight spaces. The exhales letting go of any tension that's ready to leave. Good, release your right arm, reach it up to the sky, ground the right palm, and then come on back into tabletop. We'll do 2 rounds of cat and cow, tuck the toes, inhale. Exhale, tops of feet, press, curl, and gaze in. And then 1 more, tuck the toes, inhale. And exhale, tops of feet, press, curl, and gaze in. Good, inhale, come on back to neutral spine. We'll ground down through the left palm. Take your right hand to the back of the head. Right? So activate through your belly muscles. Pull the navel up and in. Good, and then as you inhale, open your heart and chest towards the right. Maybe you don't go super far. That's okay. Do what feels okay. And then as you exhale, draw your right elbow point towards the earth as you draw the forearm towards the temple, gazing towards the floor. And then as you inhale, you open up, elbow point towards the sky, heart and chest to the right. And then as you exhale, turn it in. As you inhale, open. The right hip can move with you. That's okay. And then as you exhale, draw it in. And just 1 more like that. Inhale, open through your heart and chest. Exhale, draw it in. As you inhale, open through your heart and chest. Maybe you lean into it a little bit. So your head into your hand. You start to curl your heart and chest up towards the sky. See what feels good here. And then you can send the right arm up. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, thread the right arm behind the left and release the right shoulder to the floor. Release the right side of the head to the floor. Good. And you can use your left hand here to press into the earth as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, wringing out, twisting. Draw your left rib cage behind you, right rib cage forward. Maybe you can stick with that, or you can sweep your left arm up towards the side and maybe let the left hand draw back behind you. And perhaps it comes to that half bind. Left hand to the right low back, left fingertips to the top of the right thigh. Find your breath here. That's it. And remember, slowing your breath down. Keep it with you. Let your exhales totally filter out. And then reaching your left arm on back up to the sky. Ground your left hand and then press back up, tabletop. That's it. 2 rounds, cat-cow. Inhale, open through your heart and chest, hips to the sky. Exhale, curl in, hollow out the spine, round the upper back. One more. Good. Coming back to neutral spine. Sit onto your hips and swing the legs around and come to your back with your strap nearby if you got one. If not, again, you can use your hands or some other strap-like prop, like a towel or a scarf. And come on down to your back however you can. And just ground your feet here. Let your strap be handy. And then hug your right knee into your chest. That's it. Give it a squeeze. Then maybe start to roll your right ankle in one direction, start to wake up the ankle, and then the other. Good. And then from there, if it feels okay, let the right ankle relax and then let the left leg come long. If it doesn't, you can always keep your left foot planted to the floor. Otherwise, it comes long into your mat. And you'll breathe here. Need a chest pose, or we call this wind relieving pose in yoga. It helps to massage the ilium, that connection between the small and large intestine. Things get stuck there physically and energetically. As you breathe in, send your breath all the way down into the belly. And as you breathe out, maybe there's space to hug that right knee in a little bit deeper. Just one more when you're ready. Okay, and then reaching for your strap. If you don't have your straps, just simply extend your right leg up to the sky and interlace your hands around the hamstring or maybe the calf. If you have your strap, you could take it around the ball mound of the right foot and then holding onto either side of the strap. Soft bend into the right knee, or maybe it's a little bigger. You could press the foot into the strap, strap into the foot. And just at first, get that little isometric contraction. So you might be feeling like slight shakes. Good. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, you can bend your elbows and pull the legs in. And then same thing, as you breathe in, filling up the belly. And as you breathe out, maybe there's space to pull that leg in a little deeper. You have the time here. There's nowhere to go right now. You're just here. You have the time to play with your breath. There's a principle in yoga called Shira Sukham, and it simply just means effort and ease. So we aim for this balance between effort and easefulness. And then take your time to slowly bring that leg back to center line so the heel is above the hip. And just take the right hand to the strap. And again, if you don't have a strap, you'll just have your right hand to the outside of the calf or maybe even the hamstring. Left hand can anchor at your left hip or come out to the side. Breathe in. As you breathe out, draw that right leg towards your right, but keep the left hip to the floor to the best of your ability. If I draw it all the way to the right, my left hip comes off. That might be okay for just a quick stretch, but then plug that left hip back down using your abdominal muscles and using the core strength of your hips. Good. Okay. A little shakes are okay here too. Reach out through that left leg. Imagine like it's pressing it into an invisible wall. That's it. And breathe. You got it. Just take 2 more deep breaths, long, slow exhales. Okay, we're gonna draw that right leg back to center. Take the left hand to the strap, right hand, maybe shake it out, release it off to the side. If you don't, again, don't have a strap, you could take it to the outside of the right thigh, or if you can reach to the outside of the right foot. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Draw that right leg all the way over towards your left. And then here, your right hip can totally peel off the floor as much as it wants to, letting your left toes flop over towards your left. Maybe you gaze past your right shoulder. whichever feels best for you. Okay. You might be feeling this stretch across the right hip, glute, maybe even all the way down into the right calf and heel. A lot of times people might feel this in their inner thighs. Okay, so rather than working the pose, we can sometimes let the pose work us. It will go where it needs to. One more breath. Good. Next time you breathe in, bring that right leg all the way back to center. Bend the leg and just let the legs come long just for a moment, just for a hot second there. And just let the legs come long and just notice your right and left side. And then bend the right leg, plant the foot, and hug your left knee into your chest, holding the left knee in close. You can hold at the shin or the hamstring. And then go ahead and rock that left ankle, rolling it in one direction, and then switching. Good, and then let the left ankle just be. And when you're ready, extend the right leg out. Come into your breath. Inhale down into the belly, even pressing your belly into the left thigh. And then as you exhale and empty out, there might be space physically and energetically to pull the left knee in a little bit deeper. Good. And then when you're ready here, we'll extend the left leg up to the sky. If you got that strap, take it on the ball end of the left foot, holding onto either side of the strap. Keep reaching out through the right sole of the foot. And just for a moment here, press your foot into your strap or hand and your hand back into your foot or leg. And just start to contract a little bit here. We're just activating through the muscle of the leg before we stretch. And take a breath in. And take a breath out, pull the leg in towards you. That's it. Take what you need. As you hold here, you might be inclined to start to go in a little deeper if it feels right. And one more full and complete breath. All right, when you're ready, let the left leg come back to center line, ankle above hip joint, left hand to the strap or leg, right hand at the hip, breathing in. And then breathe out, letting the left leg come out to the side. So you can go for that stretch at first if you want to, letting the right hip peel off the floor and then track it back a little so the right hip roots down to the earth. And that left leg you can kind of play with, where does it need to go? So you have that balance between effort and ease. It's a little bit of a challenge for you to keep it up. You might have to really work your core here. Maybe even take your left elbow and bend it to the floor like a kickstand. That would be fine. Good. And right arm can come out to the side. And breathe. Okay. Next time you take your inhale, come on back to center. And then take your right hand to the strap and then the left hand out to the side. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, draw the left leg as far over to the right as you need to. You may just come over the midline a few inches, or maybe you're drawing the left leg all the way towards the floor, letting your left hip peel off the floor, or anywhere in between. Take what you need. Good, gazing past your left shoulder if that feels okay. Let the right toes flap off towards the right. And breathe. Breathe into where you're feeling this in the body. When I first started doing yoga, I was very anxious. I was like a lot in my head, a lot in my brain. And so the practice of bringing awareness into the body where you can sense where the pose is working you really helped to ground me. It still does. The body and the breath are here. It's the mind. It's the mind that's a time traveler. It goes to the past, it goes to the future. It even goes to different aspects of our present moment. That's its job, that's okay. But tuning into the body and the breath helps us to re engage with the present moment where the life is happening. And then we'll slowly come on out of this. Let your left leg come on back to center. Bend the left leg and take the strap, move it off to the side. And then hug both your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. You might rock a little side to side, massaging the low back with the floor. You can stick with that, or you can take your hands up underneath the hamstrings and start to rock up and down across the full length of the spine. If that feels okay. If it doesn't, no worries. You can just rock side to side. And we'll take about 3 more of these. Then when you're ready, rock up to sit. And we'll meet once again in that tabletop position. Wrists below shoulders, knees are hip distance. We'll just warm up the core a little bit more here. Pressing into the top of the right foot, extend the left leg out. Good. Ground down through the left hand and sweep the right arm up. Sunbird. So opposite arm and leg. You'll breathe in here, stretch through the fingertips, reach out through the left heel. As you breathe out, draw your elbow to knee and create a fist in your hand. I find that that helps us to engage the core a little bit more. You'll crunch in. And then as you inhale, you'll release the fist, stretch your fingers long. And then as you exhale, round and squeeze, crunch it in, gaze in. And then as you inhale, extend and lengthen. And then exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to release, right hand, left knee. Other side. Right leg comes long and the left arm extends up. Breathe in. Breathe out, elbow to knee, crunch it in. You can create a fist in that left hand if that's okay on this side too. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze it in. And just 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend and lengthen belly. Exhale, draw navel up and in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Good, tuck the toes and the hips back to the heels. Extend your arms out long, downward facing dog as you're ready. Send the hips up to the sky, heels into the floor. Wrapping out upper arm bones in towards each other. Draw the chin back towards the throat and let the head hang. We're gonna stay here for about 4 to 5 breaths. So you can be totally still in your downward dog, or you might create some movements, lifting up off of the heels and dropping the heels down towards the floor. You can bend one leg and lengthen and press into the opposite heel. Whatever feels good. Okay, and softly bend the knees, breathe in, and then as you exhale, walk your feet to your hands, to the top of the mat. It's okay if you do a little hands to feet, feet to hands. Once you get to the place where the ankles are below the hips, take a breath in for length, and then as you breathe out, fold over the legs. We'll take a ragdoll here, so you might separate the feet a little bit wider than hip distance and bend up the knees, let your head hang. You can let your fingers dangle to the floor. A little bit of an extra upper back shoulder release if it feels right. Interlace your hands and bring them to the back of your head. And using the weight of your hands, just traction out the back of the neck and let the elbows just mildly squeeze in towards each other. And really just let your head hang. And wherever you're at, you can rock and sway in any way that feels right. Or you can just dangle. 3 more breaths. Good. Release the fingertips out in front. Draw the chin towards the chest. Softly bend the knees and take an inhale to roll all the way up. Imagine one vertebrae stacking at a time. We'll sweep the hands all the way up towards the sky. Take the palms in, a little back bend at the top. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Good. Coming to the top of the mat, unless you're already there, we'll do some sun salutations. Take your time, break when you need to. Inhale, reach forward up. Exhale, swan dive, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift, hands to the shins or either side of the feet. Exhale, reach your hands to the floor, bend your knees, take your left leg all the way back. Good. Popping up onto the fingertips. If you have blocks, you would have them to either side of your feet. You'll inhale and shine your heart. As you exhale, hinge forward on the tippy toes of the back foot for momentum to step the right leg back to downward facing dog. As you breathe in, shift forward into plank or high push-up position. We're gonna hold this first one for about 3 breaths. You can certainly release your knees, that still counts. Otherwise, knees are lifted to reach out through the heels. Keep the back of the neck long with the rest of the spine, gazing at the tip of your mat. Breathe in. Breathe out, hips high, downward facing dog. Breathe in, shift forward plank. Breathing out, vinyasa of your choice. You can follow along with me. You can release your knees. We'll do chin, chest, belly. Elbows in close, hips high. And then as you exhale, release, chin, chest, belly towards the floor. You may not touch, it's just in that order. Tops of feet press, cobra pose. Squeeze the elbows towards either side. Breath in. Breath out, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg sweeps up nice and high. As you exhale, use your core muscles to step that left foot forward. You can certainly scoop up the heel and help it forward. Palm out of that back foot, take an inhale, shine your heart. Take an exhale, that right foot steps forward and folds over the legs. Good, softly bend the knees and inhale, reach out and up. Little back bend at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. Good, inhale, forward up. You could take a little back bend here, lead with your heart. As you exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot back first this time. All the way back, as far as is comfortable. Inhale, shine your heart. Exhale, hinge forward for momentum to step it back, downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, high push-up or plank position. Exhale, release the knees. Vinyasa of your choice. You could do chin, chest, belly with me. Take your time. Slide the legs out long. Tops of the feet press. Inhale, draw the shoulder heads back. Open heart. Exhale, use your core to lift you up and back. Downward facing. Inhale, right leg up high. Exhale, big step, right foot to the top. Help it forward if you need to. Take your time. Inhale, shine your heart. Exhale, left foot steps forward, folds. Stay with your breath. Inhale, reach out and up. Soft bend into the legs. Little back bend at the top if it feels okay. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here for a breath. Good. Inhale, forward up. Exhale, swan dive, fold it down. Half lift, breath in. Exhale, left foot back. Slowly release the left knee shin. Here's where you might double stack your mat for your back knee, or take a blanket there if need be. Take care of yourself. Pressing into the top of the right thigh, lift up into low lunge. Good, reach your hands out and up and breathe. From there, sweep them all the way back behind you and interlace your fingers, interlock your thumbs, squeeze the shoulders onto the back, and start to broaden through your chest, taking a soft back bend from the upper body. Draw the shoulder heads away from each other, setting the knuckles towards the back heels. So you're getting a little bit more lifted in the arms. Strong in both front and back leg. Take another full breath. Good, release the hands towards the low back. Sweep them up, inhale. Exhale, fold over that front leg. Lift off the back knee. Step it in a couple of inches closer. Stay lifted off that back heel and just lean back to straighten this front leg. This is called funky pyramid, where our right toes are lifted off the floor. You can have blocks either side of this right leg. If this is just not working, you can keep that right foot grounded. And a soft bend into this front knee and fold. Good. Think, for this pose, think more about how it feels than if you're doing it right. Notice a stretch perhaps in the hamstring, somewhere in the hip or groin. One more breath. Good, bend that right leg. Here you are again in that high-low lunge. Inhale, shine your heart. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. You don't always have to take that vinyasa, which we'll do in a moment. You can stay here, or you'll inhale, plank. And then exhale, vinyasa. I'm gonna demonstrate high-low push-up, which is chaturanga, if you'd like to take it. Otherwise, you can keep your knees down. If you're going for it, you just lower halfway as you exhale. Good, and then you'll roll to the tops of the feet, propelling your pelvis forward. Draw the shoulder heads back. This is up dog. Your hips are off the floor for this one. Stick with cobra if you'd like. Breathe in when you're ready. Breathe out, hips high, downward facing dog. Good, your inhale breath, left leg up high. Your exhale, big step, left foot to the top. Take your time to set up your pose. Release your right knee shin. Back toes tucked or untucked, your choice. Press into the left thigh, lift up, low lunge. Sweep your hands out and up. Good, reach the hands all the way back behind you. Interlace the fingers, interlock the thumbs. This time, do a different variation. So switch the interlocking of your thumbs, switch around the fingers, try something funky. Squeeze the shoulders onto the back, open through your heart. This back bend has a mixture of core work, back bending, leg work, so breathe into it. You're working really hard. Sending the knuckles towards the back heel, one more breath. Good, release the hands to the low back, sweep them up, inhale. Exhale, fold over that front leg, lift off the back knee shin, step it in an inch or so closer, lean back and straighten that left leg. If you can, keep the toes off the floor, funky pyramid, that's it. You might walk your hands in a little closer, or you might walk them a little further away. Good, letting the head hang over the legs if that feels okay. And breathe. One more breath. Great, bend that left leg, palm onto the back foot, inhale. Exhale, step it forward and fold. Good, inhale, root to rise. Little back bend, exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath here, collect. Inhale, forward up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. As you exhale, right foot steps all the way back. You're gonna stay lifted off the right knee. We're gonna come up to high lunge. So press into the top of the thigh, lift up through the heart and chest, sweep your hands out and out, palms face in. Swivel the pinky fingers in towards you. Breathe in, breathe out, stay. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathing in. As you breathe out, transitioning to warrior two, you're gonna ground your back heel, then bend deep into the front leg, fingertips stretch forward and back, palms face down. Gaze over your front middle finger, so your left leg is bent in front. Rooting down through that right foot, warrior two pose. Flip your left palm. As you inhale, send it forward. As you exhale, peaceful warrior up and back. So the right hand slides on the back leg, left hand reaches up and back behind you. Keep a nice deep bend into the left knee. One more breath. Good, inhale back, warrior two. Straighten this front leg. Heel toe the back foot in, just an inch or so closer for triangle pose. Good, draw your right hip back and in. As you inhale, reach your left fingertips all the way forward. When you can't anymore, left hand down, right hand to the sky. Good, so you can have your left hand at the shin. Maybe it's reaching to the inside or outside of your left leg, or perhaps you have a block at high level or medium. And the right hand is reaching upwards towards the sky. Broaden your collarbones and extend the center of your sternum towards the ceiling as you open your heart. Maybe look up. One more breath. Good, ground down through the legs. As you inhale, come on back, warrior two. And then as you exhale, windmill the hands to frame that front foot, ball down to the back foot. Slowly release the right knee and extend the left leg long for half split. So this time the right knee is to the floor. It's directly below your right hip. Pull your left toes back and in, and pull your left hip in towards the center. Again, you can have blocks either side here, or you're just reaching for the floor. Letting your head hang and just fold to any amount over this left leg. This is called half splits pose. Notice how this is arriving for you in the body and in the mind. I used to hate this pose. I thought it felt so awkward, and it's now one of my favorites. A lot of times the things that we are averted to, we don't want, are the things we need. Right? But it's a balance, right? You don't want to torture yourself with all the things you're wanting to avoid. And you just trinkle it in. You just sprinkle in the difficult with the things you enjoy. We have that power in yoga. We can practice it here. One more breath. Good, bend into that left leg, lift off the back knee shin, take your inhale. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. You could stay here, maybe even rest in child's pose, right? Or inhale into that plank. Exhale, vinyasa of your choice. Perhaps the chaturanga you lower just halfway. Inhale into the tops of the feet. Draw the shoulder heads back. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, your right leg sweeps up high. Exhale, big step, right foot to the top. You're gonna ball down to that back foot. You can press into the right thigh to lift on up for high lunge. Nice job, guys. Soft bend back knee, big bend front knee. Settle in for 2 breaths here. Good, transitioning to warrior two. Ground that back foot, bend into the front leg, fingers stretch forward and back. Beautiful. Good, gazing over front middle finger. Strong, grounded warrior. Really reach your fingertips to either side. Warrior two is meant to ground energetically. The fingers reaching to opposite side represent us reaching for the future and stretching for the past. And we stay grounded through center. Our legs strong, our torso centered over the pelvis, the crown of the head reaching to the sky. Flip your right palm, inhale, send it forward. Exhale, peaceful warrior up and back. Good. Find a gaze that feels good for your neck. I know that right leg is burning. Just another breath, maybe keep it bent. Inhale back, warrior two. Straighten this front leg. Heel to that back foot and the inch or so closer. Draw the left hip back. Reach the right fingertips forward, forward, forward. When you can't reach anymore, bring that right hand down, left hand high. Soft bend into this front knee. Good. Find a placement with this right hand that feels suitable. It could be different for each side. Draw your right rib cage forward, left rib cage back as you open your head and chest to the sky. Good, ground down through the legs. Inhale back, warrior two. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, 5-pointed star. All 10 toes face the same direction. Reach your hands up to the sky. And then as you exhale, reach them all the way back behind you once more. Interlace the fingers, interlock the thumbs, squeeze the shoulders onto the back, breathe in. As you breathe in soft, as you breathe out, soft bend into the knees, fold between the legs. Let the crown of the head reach to the floor. Your hands here, they can stay at the low back with your elbows bent, right? Or they can be straight. Your arms can be straight and your hands can reach up and overhead. Let your head and neck hang. Let the face muscles soften and breathe. You gotta release the shoulder stretch at some point because it's just too much. That's okay, you can do it. Just release your hands to the low back first and then to the floor. Otherwise, we'll take 3 more full breaths here. Good, ground down to the legs. Start to slowly lift yourself up, release the hands to the low back, nice and slow. And then take your hands to your hips, soft bend into the knees, send your pelvis forward, open your heart and chest to the sky. Squeeze the elbows behind you, squeeze the shoulders onto the back. That's it, take a full breath. On your next inhale, slowly make your way back up to neutral. Release your hands, exhale. And then heel toe the feet back together. Okay. You can stay where you are in your mat, or you can come to face in a different direction. We'll just stand holding mountain pose here. Palms are facing forward. Eyes open or close, your choice. Grounding down through the feet. We'll do a little mantra here, which is just a phrase that you can repeat to yourself. And we'll follow the breath like a line of energy from the soles of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head as you inhale, saying to yourself, I am. And as you exhale from the crown of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet, saying to yourself, here, or grounded, or ready, whichever resonates with you. Breathing in from the soles of the feet all the way up, big breath in, all the way up to the crown of the head. I am. And from the crown of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet, here. And then one more at your own pace. Good. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes if they were closed, take your hands together, collect that energy in, and then find your strap if you had one. If not, no worries, we'll talk you through it. And taking your strap, if you have it, I have a loop in my strap already, but you don't need one. If you happen to have it and it's easy for you to do, you can have one, but no need. Take the strap around the left shoulder and just get settled back in. So you'll need a focus point. You might need to see what I'm doing, and then you'll come back into your focus point, which is somewhere straight ahead, right, so that you can keep your balance. We'll bend the right leg and tap the toes as you're ready. You're really rooted down through the left leg. You'll hug the right knee into the chest. You can hold at the shin, or you can hold at the hamstrings at the back of the thigh. And just start by letting your leg be like putty in your hands. It's pretty heavy, and just you're working your balance, drawing the shoulders back. So every step I offer is a step you can stay in. It's up to you if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. You can always come to a wall and take the left hand to the wall, but just see how you do, right? No worries. You can have your hand at the shin and pull the knee into the chest. Yeah, okay, stay there. Or take the strap or hand to the outside of the right leg, right foot rather. If you have the strap, you're going fishing for that right foot. You'll take the strap around the bottom of the right foot, hold to either side, draw the shoulder heads back. Good, and then extending the right leg out. That's it. Good. Good. Now play with this. Right? Soft bend into the right knee, open through your heart and chest. If you can, both hands, both sides of the strap into the right hand, left hand can be released to the hip. Maybe you reach it up. Stick with that, or start to send the right leg out towards the right and the left fingertips to the left. Now you can bring your left hand back to the hip to center it. You might have your hand at the shin and you're holding onto the shin and the knee is super bent. Okay? Take what you need. Now you know how important that bottom leg is. Okay, draw the floating ribs in. Another breath. Okay, bend that right leg, draw the right leg back in, release the strap, and really slow ground that right foot. Nice job. Take the strap to the right shoulder if it's there. Maybe just do a little rocking back and forth and the ball down to the heel. You can even shake out the leg, let it go. And come back to stand. Noticing right side, left side. While your mind was working and analyzing the situation, labeling it, successful, not successful, your body was having an experience. Your left leg was working. Your right leg was opening. Your core was centering, no matter what happened there. When you're ready, take your time, open your eyes, find your gaze, tap your left toes, and then bring the left leg in. You can hold it the shin or hamstring, your choice, and just start by letting it be heavy in your hand. Open to your chest, gather your posture. Crown of the head works up. Beautiful. Good, you could stick with that. As you're ready, you can hug the left knee in a little bit more to the chest, bending the elbows. It's okay if your ankle wobbles. Mine just did. There's about 27 bones, I think. Kendall would know better, in the feet. And they move. So don't get distracted by that. It's okay. Take the strap if you got it, bring it around the ball mount of your left foot and extend it. Now you can certainly have a bend here still on the leg, or you're working it straight. Pull the left toes back towards you. Nice job, ladies, good. Maybe as you're ready, you're moving at your own pace. Both sides of the strap into the left hand, right hand at the hip, or right hand on up to the sky with the palm facing in, and you're really reaching your right fingertips up. And then as you're ready, left leg goes out towards the left, right arm out towards the side. You kind of soft little bend into this left leg. Nice. I didn't say this on the other side. I'm sorry about that, but you can look past your right fingertips for an extra challenge. Good. And then as you're ready, draw that left leg back on through, bend the leg, release. You can let go of the strap, come back to stand, maybe shake it out. You can shake out the ankles. Nice job. Good. Separate the feet about as wide as a mat if you have, if you're out on the top of your mat, or a little bit wider than hip distance, and then turn the toes out towards either side. We're gonna go to our malasana from top down. So you can bring your hands to the heart, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, bending your legs and slowly lowering into yogi squat. So you might be able to sink all the way down. You might be up a little bit higher. You could be sitting on a block or books or whatever you got there. And if you can, hang here. If you gotta release this, you can come into what's called butterfly, where the soles of the feet are together and you're on the seat. Right? Otherwise, here we are. One more invite wherever you are to come to that Padma mudra, lotus mudra. Your fingers open up like a flower, keeping the pinky finger and the thumb connected. Maybe close your eyes here and drop in. One more breath. Good, bring your hands back together. One hand in front or one behind, or maybe both behind, whatever works for you to sit right onto your seat. Good. Let your legs extend out in front of you. All right, we're gonna take forward folding, left leg out on a slight angle, right foot comes into the left groin. Flex your left toes. You might move your seat around a little bit there. We'll inhale and sweep your hands up. As you exhale, turn your heart and chest towards the left leg and fold over the left leg to any amount. You might hold on to the shin, ankle, or foot, or maybe nothing at all. Just let your head hang here, or keep your gaze lifted. Hydrating your back with breath. You might feel this in the right low back, in the kidney area. This is opening up a kidney meridian, the energy point, purifying our mind and body. Soak that up with slow, deep breaths. And lift up just enough to walk your way back to center. When you're ready, ground down through the seat. Inhale, sweep your hands up. As you exhale, once again, reach them all the way out to the side and back behind you, down to the floor, and draw your chin to the chest. And then lift your gaze and take the right leg out, and the left foot comes in. You can scoot your seat around, flex the right toes to the knee, breathe in, sweep your arms up. Turn your heart and chest to the right and breathe out as you fold over the right leg. Letting your head hang here. Hydrating your back with breath, those areas of tension or tightness. Sending the inhales there and exhaling it out. And we'll slowly start to roll our way up. Take the legs together and come to your back. And we'll rest there. And once you come onto your back, you can let your legs stretch out long in Shavasana. If you need to do a little bit more movement, maybe you hug your knees into your chest. Maybe you just gotta scooch around a little bit. Perhaps you gather some props, like a blanket on top of you or underneath your head. Shavasana, the arms are a little bit away from the body. The limbs are spacious, inviting in expansion. Start to bring your attention back to your breath. You can just watch your natural breath or deepen it if that feels better. Starting to create some small movements in the body, like wiggling fingers, toes, and rocking your head from right to left. And when you're ready, bend your legs and roll to your right or left side, whichever feels more intuitive for you right now. Curl the knees in close. If there wasn't a physical reason that you roll to the side, if it was an intuitive reason, note this. When we roll to the left side, it's more stimulating, we're activating. It calls us to action, even if it's a gentle action. So the body might be telling you that's something you might need. And to the right side, more rest, rejuvenation, restore, if that resonates. And then pressing into your right hand, slowly lift yourself on up to sit. And we'll seal off the practice together. Using your hands together, thumb to the heart. Let's take what's called a cleansing breath together, which is a breath in through the nose and a big sigh out of the mouth. So just exhale out all the air you have now. Breathing in and let it go. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.